Good evening, all. The stream is now in session. Obi-Wan362, Gamer Law presiding. And welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where we are talking to British Jesus, for he duplicates his fishes and chips. Okay, we did all the conversing. I think we also did the examining. It was time for the moving and going to Mr. Sholmes' suite. Talonzi. It's animated! That was so cute! Also, there's definitely snowmen in the other one, and doesn't appear to be any snow in this.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Just up there, looking over the street.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Yeah, like everything's still green. But there was also a snowman? I have questions. 19th February, 3 p.m. Sholmes' suite. So this is where the great detective makes his living. Feels surreal to be here somehow. It's a skull over there. Is it as described in the stories, Mr. Sato? Suzato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose it must have been. Yes. I've never read the stories, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. Detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it! The romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? I suppose I can. Yes, when I look at you. So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me. She's obsessed. She's a crazy person. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? I called it.
Hello! Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello. Wait. Aren't you...
Oh, how rude of me! I'll go and make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Like it was just a day ago. Mrs. Sato, you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bavaria? King Wilhelm Gottsrick Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. Okay, that was a lot. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. What are you doing?
Tea's rude, and I have a freshly baked cake as well.
It's you! Knew it. Such a son recognizes her too.
There you are!
Experimental smoke grenade launcher. Good day to you. I'm, well, an inventor, I suppose. Her backpack, it's so cute. It's a girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in defendant's antechamber.
Never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Or you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Oh, yeah, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Thank you? Is tea supposed to look that color?
My, what a fragrant, yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. Must be exhausted after your long voyage here. You have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. To wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? You know Hurley, do you?
His name's Hurley. Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley.
Mr. Sholmes was the fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. I met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial. Only briefly at that. What on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? Perhaps more to the point. Why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite?
Oh, silly me! I haven't introduced myself, have I?
She's so cute.
It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson.
Okay.
I live here together with Hurley.
Okay. Ah. Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you?
You say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with such a son? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
I'm Rinosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie?
Bruno? So what this girl that meets the eye? So many questions for her, I don't know where to start. Yes! And so do I! Why can everybody read my inner thoughts? It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey?
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
Like this?
Oh, please. Please no.
Ah, thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Ginny? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It's very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
You refer to the trial disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly! So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
It's girl is dangerous. She definitely shouldn't be allowed to get around tools or explosives. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly.
Hurley?
Yes, Airlock. Airlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the Great Detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I?
I don't know. Then what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes?
Hey.
You and Kat.
Well, I expected you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner. A roommate.
Pumpernickel, what you doing? Your roommates?
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year.
Well, what are your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. Well, the story is there. Wilson.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Oh, of course, go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, and you have a copy of Rance magazine? Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting! Stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see. He tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It's a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think?
Giga gasp.
Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for this next issue before you came.
So you were the author?
Yes, but you're on a secret if you like. I'm gonna call the latest adventure The Speckled Band.
The Speckled Band? It's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the problem.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rance magazine all written by me? Yes! My wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Son's getting more and more worked up.
Ah, yes. That's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson.
But what about the doctor of medicine part? Pumpernickel, what are you doing?
What are you playing with? That's all true, too. I am a doctor of medicine.
No. At 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible. And highly unlikely. But, oh, Susato, don't cry. Don't cry. Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman.
Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling.
Oh,
Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? Great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow.
fair. I suppose it does. Yes. Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Deductions. About before.
Yes, what's on your mind, Runo? Do tell me.
How'd you know? I was a lawyer who just arrived in London. I mean, Copenhagen seemed to get all worked up.
Yes. Oh, and now we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How'd you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean? Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin.
Oh,
Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular!
wait, is this happening?
First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runo. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
She also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How'd you know that?
Sort of a passport and a travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
Reaper of the Bailey? I looked right into that one, didn't I?
Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today? Use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. The red stamps only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. Obviously amused him, told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
Japanese man? Oh, clearly that must have been...
Mr. Natsumi! Now, Bruno has that fancy Japanese sword. I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
Wow. She does so much better than Hurley does.
There's a note in the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions.
Actually, super impressive. Way to go, small child.
Well, was it a winner? My deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You managed the certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery.
Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Please.
So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying.
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, your detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. Short, shifty-looking, stooped man.
Mr. Natsumi, beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said that you didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all.
Hurley uses great deductive powers to determine the man's address. There's a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear.
Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective. Still,
It means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh?
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it apparently. Dear. I read the situation is so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose, but in that case, I don't much hope for Soseki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you want to have more fun and help us investigate further? Do you ever know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you'd guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Ah, well, Inspector Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsumi, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Natsuomi? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Not a clue. Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they?
Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yeah, we know Inspector Gregson.
Ah, goody! In that case, keep Gregsy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this? 5-shilling piece in a postcard, it seems. This is postcards, but entered into the court record. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." This won't make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck then. I'm gonna return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. Now I'm making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, for Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
So, someone said they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note, one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Yeah, it was like, I forget there was much left in that, but like, saving. As with last time, I'm just like, I'm so tired. Also, again, look, dead tree, snow on buildings, but it was like summertime on Baker Street. Well, looks like the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Let's see if he'll take a break from chips. Look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. The hearing might be adorable, but the message is ominous. For sentiment there. Should somebody the way you're interpreting it, Mr. Naruhodo? I mean, I do hope the inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it. I think it'll just make him munch piping out chips until the steam goes out from his ears. Well, that wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome. You're assuming the chips are any good. Maybe they're terrible. I'm annoyed because like we might have another short night tonight, but I gotta start it late, so. I already feel the issues. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here. Give it at once. What? Hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously. It's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee. That's what it is. An appearance fee?
Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right, for the great adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time.
Yes, yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Of course, you're using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I am sorry, Inspector. It was too difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? The gentleman in black, whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, I'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsumi's lodgings. Why didn't we just ask him? He's our client.
Little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fella. Lives in a right old hovel. Just over there. Look. First floor of that house on the corner, a Breckel bicycle is propped up. Oh.
It is nearby indeed.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Gardeb. Alright, well, if you see her again, be sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. Tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Or, Inspector, we will.
Just calm yourself, jeez.
Bye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Oh. Well, he told us what he wanted to know before he left. Yeah. So then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsumi's lodgings?
Definitely!
New location has been added. Oh, goodness. Oh. May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Gardeb? Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? My name is Rinosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsumi. I believe he takes lodgings here? We'd very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
One moment, please. Should convey the message to Mr. Gardeb. Did you see that, Mr. Sato? It's a real-life English maid. It's a miracle.
No! As I understand it, anyone standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better and better.
It feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? Only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete. Oh, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. So the Gyarados will see you now. This way. Cool. Jeez, why am I so tired? Why have I been so tired for days? It's a full-size cannon! What's it doing in here?
My, it's real! Thought it might be a replica.
That old thing? Bah. A little more than a toy. Sorry? I was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Really? Isn't it a overkill? Be prepared, I always say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, boy.
There might be trouble brewing, Mr. Gyarados.
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Tries him over the barrel, you see. Drive very well. Get in there, Joan tells me. Rather proves my point of view. What? What am I reading? Oh, they drive very well, can there, Joan tells me. Which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. What a huge cannon. Looks like it's hanging its head in shame. It's been reduced to a drying rack onto the huge cannon. Okay. Y'all, I'm struggling. This is not great. Good day to you. John Gyarados at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Rinosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Excuse me, not getting up. Took a shot in the knee a few years back in the Battle of my one. Don't you know? In a medal for my pains, but I had to withdraw from service. Or the reins to the ups and comings. So he's a retired soldier. Got it. It's difficult. Okay. Good job getting up and downstairs now, I can tell you. How much, as you can imagine. Yeah, so I climb up here to the second floor. Oh, gosh. We're struggling, folks. It's going to be an hour at this rate. I can understand, because this is the precise reason why I wait until stream time to drink my soda. So I have the sugar and the caffeine to help keep me awake. And it's not working lately, which tells me that I've got other problems. It's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panicking at the top of the stairs.
You must take more
must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. You think so? Well, Mr. Gyarados, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. It was just a falderall, really. I'd like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these people see it properly. Ah, dash it all, woman! Be careful!
Dear me. I do beg your pardon, sir.
Jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
Should be more careful, sir.
Alright. Living the quiet life. Yes, I see. Oh, then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
Yes. We'd be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only two, please, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Crap. We had some famous detective poking around, you know? In this old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Could have been. You catch Chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of Rance magazine here, so...
Eh? Hmm? No, Anyway, Chap's
Investigation? Investigating the foreigner's room as we speak.
in Soseki-san's room. It's a volume nuisance. Is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. About Mr. Natsumi.
But Mr. Natsumi then. Mr. Gyarados, please do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Been lodging here for a week. Just a week? Yeah, what he said. So he moved in very recently then. I have two lodges most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. First floor room came available a week ago. Dash it all, Joan, do be careful.
Oh, yes, Chap is there, sir. You know my opinion. I thought he was a shady sort of from the moment I set eyes on him.
Uh-huh.
Oh? Why? He's in a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulders. And had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. I'm really wrong about anything.
Won't be calling his mate as a witness, that's for sure.
Oh.
Jeez, Bubbles. Give me a heart attack. We'll become this maid as a witness, that's for sure. Is there anything else that struck you suspicious about the man at all? Yes, oh yes, indeed there was. And she's dying to tell us. Shady lodger, come on, let's get it all out. Did you notice anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsumi? Oh, my word, yes. It was shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate, please? Oh, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books. It is more than anyone could ever read. Never so much as passes the time today with another living soul. I haven't even seen a single visitor call. Just trots off to the old bookstore every single day. Comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. Huh. The funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed, too. Huh. Okay. Just around on the ground floor, goes to bed at around 9 each night. No, the Japanese. Try to... Never known the Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Okay, there we go. Ah. Should you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? You know so much about Mr. Natsumi's routine. I understand that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct? Bring him over. Yep. That's right, yes. I'm both below us. On the first floor and the street level. Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? Precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. And the times to go to bed. Good grief, Joan, be more careful, woman. Oh my goodness, sir, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I'm so terrible. Huh. Something doesn't add up here. Seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time? Window? We have a window? Great Scott, Joan, we have a window! Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement, just on the far side of the street. Is there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? Well, 5 o'clock is dinner time. The Garadeb of household. I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir. Would have been dusk outside already at that hour. The fog as well. I should think it would have been quite difficult. We'll go with difficult. It says but possible, though. Been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Okay. Oh, I see. Is anything else out of the ordinary then? It's a chance. I don't know anything. Nothing at all. Even if it seems unrelated. Well... Yes, was there something then? Nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time you hear there... Oh, God, Joan! What are you doing?
Oh, dear me! I'm doing awfully sorry, sir.
Be more careful, woman!
Of course, sir.
If I may...
Mr. Naro Hollow?
Mr. Naro Hollow.
Mm-hmm. I have an exceedingly good memory. As far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really? Mr. Garadeb? You were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been... Oh, as I was saying, it's just a traveling matter, really. Nothing of... Joan! Dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir.
Nothing happened.
Oh. Oh, something happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Garadeb.
What's the matter with these two?
It's like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
I wish I knew. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsumi's room is on? Certainly. Just below us on the first floor. Cool.
Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak?
Yes. Told me Natsu's name, had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsumi has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services?
It's a blatant lie.
Be alright if we also had a look around?
Mr. Natsumi's room, I mean.
Yes.
Let's see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Unless we find anything that could help us with the case. We have to try. And all the clues we can lay our hands on. Shall we?
Yes. While we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. Look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up. It's like someone has half demolished them to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It's quite the English way. Mr. Garrett was accustomed to take 2 cakes with his tea. That sounds delightful.
Pumping up. Oh. Wait a minute, though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Oh, naturally! Would never do to waste leftovers. So Mr. Garrett doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you should have to tidy up.
How magnanimous of you. There we go. This crocker in display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it?
My genuine London dresser.
Pumpernickel.
Hey. Leave that shoe alone.
heck is that, cat? That's it. You eat it. I don't know what it is, but you eat it.
Delightful.
The shelves seem to be broken. The crockery is...
Dear, it's in pieces.
Yes, cracked. Wouldn't do that Chinaware justice. I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Yes, probably something like that. Let's not delve too deeply here.
Old can holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's almost completely black for some reason. Doesn't look like it is, but alright. That old thing, yes. Just a cheap piece of ironmongery. Give him crack, really? Oh, sorry. Is it when I was studying, don't you know? For my commission. I know it's old, hardly worth hanging on to, really. But, well, still, but well, still has its uses sometimes.
Of course. Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it? They're memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories.
Is that a yes, then?
Look at that enormous screen. Someone put there deliberately. Surely.
Don't call me Shirley. It certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. Could be behind it, I wonder. I'm gonna have a very quick look.
Just a little peek.
Ahem. Maybe let's not, Miss Susato? Geez, Susato. The maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. Ahem. Ahem. The uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Pah, not much better than rags, really. Oh. Wore that ceremonial garb at my retirement bash, you know? But I'm not one for dwelling on the past, me. I've gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia laying around, does it? Sure.
Oh, I see.
Just leave the past in the past.
Should we? Should we?
Are those mortar shells? They're enormous.
I didn't notice. What are they doing here?
Those old things? A couple little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know? Became a bit of a colorful regiment in folklore, that incident. You mean you deliberately hunted out spent shells? Well, I wouldn't say deliberately exactly. Only scrap iron, after all. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you? Useful for what, exactly? Oh, nothing. Yes, well... Joanne here did manage to knock one of the bally things on my foot the other day while she was dusting.
Oh no!
And she's here since 1869 before then, you know. Would we reconsider throwing them away? looks like a Medal of Honor. It's showcased on a very grand banner. Yeah, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. But it bothers me that it's not straight. What? That old thing? Sorry? You should be glad to see the back of it. But the general turn in his grave if I disposed of it. It's the best place for it. Keeps the bloody thing out of my way. It's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose. There appears to be an inscription on the metal itself. Look. Let me see. For distinguished participation. Huh? Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet. I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Got knowledge in military circles. Okay. Sherbet. Sherpet. Portrait of Mr. Garadeb is glaring at me, I swear. Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadeb as well? Yeah, there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. Ah, yes. Seem to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seem to come back? What does that mean? A chap who runs the place is a bally wizard. Went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. Point of fact, I think about it, I often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need. My ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements. So the sun doesn't pull her punches. Or her throws, for that matter. Okay, I think we've analyzed... That's not important. Yeah, because I'm like, there's not really anything I can see further. I guess you can look out the window. This window looks out over Briar Road, where the young woman was attacked. Yeah, I think it's a policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene. This is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly. Is this thing open at all, I wonder? Shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, sir. Sorry? As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you. Seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything from the incident then. But not impossible. Okay. Yeah, this is clearly only working to some extent. Like, I don't know why I'm so tired lately. It's making this impossible to do. I don't know, we might have to play something else. Which I hate to do, because we're only have like this mission and then I guess we have 2 stories left. But like, I don't know, I'm just so tired. We can get a good night's sleep tonight. Get it done tomorrow, I don't know. Let's get us moving. I don't know. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to stop there for tonight. Which I hate to do, but like, I also want to be sitting here half falling asleep trying to read these, which I currently am. So it is what it is, I suppose. So, thank you all for coming out tonight. As always, it's greatly appreciated. Tomorrow, we might try just playing something else, depending on how tired I am when it's go time. Just to see if that helps things or helps the matter or not. So we'll see. So be on the lookout for whatever it might actually be. Until then, this stream is adjourned. Good night, everybody.